Sure. Kshitij, we'll have Shilpa coming in the backdrop. Perfect. Okay. Oh yeah, there's it. Okay, great. Well, hello everybody, and thanks so much for joining in. My name is Neeraj Shah from NDTV, and it's an absolute delight to be moderating this panel because it is arguably the biggest buzzword after Donald Trump in this year's WEF. That is AI, and it's only befitting that the state which is usually taken the lead when it comes to all things technology has decided to set up this panel, and that is, of course, the state of Andhra Pradesh. And on the panel today, let me go by the order in which I have the names with me. We have Shilpa Kulhatkar. She's Global Head of AI Nations at NVIDIA, and it's a delight to talk to her, of course. Professor Daniel Suskin, Senior Research Associate, Institute for Ethics in AI and Associate Member of the Economics Department, University of Oxford from UK. Professor Jay Lee, Distinguished Professor and Director at Industrial Artificial Intelligence Center, University of Maryland, USA. Sadie Crees, Professor of Cybersecurity, University of Oxford, United Kingdom. Professor Ricardo Hausman, Founder and Director of Growth Lab, Harvard University, USA. And of course, Honorable Minister Nara Lokesh from the state. So great. It was lovely to see the panel yesterday, Minister Lokesh, and it's a great setup that we have today. Can I just start off with the thesis behind you doing this right here at the WEF? Because yes, AI is at the front and center, but some of the topics that have been chosen have been curated carefully to drive home a message about what the state wants to do as well.
Thanks to all the panelists for making it and taking time out. Really appreciate it. No, as a state, we are very cognizant that AI is here. It is fundamentally going to transform the way we're going to do things. I think the other theme that's been going is, are we going to be the disruptor or are we going to be disrupted? That's the theme that I hear across WEF this year. And Andhra Pradesh wants to be the disruptor. So what we want to gauge is, what is it that we need to do as a state? And how do you prepare the citizens for it? And how can we tap the power of AI for our farmers, for our artisans, for our carpenters, for our electricians? I think there's something substantive that we can do as a nation, and this is why we wanted to set this panel up and really learn from them. And parallelly, what we're looking at to do in Andhra Pradesh is to actually do an AI university, which is collaborative. We want to bring the industry to lead this entire initiative. We've done this in the past with the Indian School of Business. It's called ISB. We've done this in, I think, the late 90s. And now I think time has come for India also to leapfrog, even in the education. So I think that's a bit of context to why we are here.
Okay. Well, let me start. Usually we start ladies first. I'm not going to follow that because it's an equal panel here. Let me start from the far left and Professor Hausman, because it kind of flows in nicely with what Minister Lokesh just mentioned as well. How do you think institutions and the state, be it any state, whether it's Andhra Pradesh or otherwise, collaborate to bring forth the best practices, the best kind of learning models for the entire ecosystem to benefit out of this buzzword? I wouldn't call it just a buzzword, a technology which people say is probably even bigger than the internet of 2000.
So my main piece of advice is to say the following. AI is what they call a general purpose technology. It is going to permeate across all human activities. So there is going to be very, very few people who will be needed to figure out kind of like the algorithm, the learning algorithms, the backbone, the hardware, the NVIDIAs of this world, right? But we need a lot of people to simply think, what are the human challenges you want to solve? And to what extent AI can allow you to do more than what you would have done without it. So if we, if you think that AI is a hammer, you're looking for nails. if we focus our attention on the things that really matter to us and be sufficiently cognizant of AI, we will be able to find killer apps for AI that have yet to be developed. One of the reasons why there was a bust after the dot-com boom is because we invested a hell of a lot in the backbone and in the hardware and so on, and we didn't have the killer apps. That was before YouTube, that was before Netflix, that was before Amazon, that was before many, many things, right? So we are at that stage. We have something that empowers, enables to do many things. We just don't know what yet. So I would say, think hard about what are the key problems in your state, in your country, that you would like to address. We would like to improve the quality of education. We would like to improve the quality of healthcare. We would like to do many things in life, right? Well, now we have this hammer. Don't think just about the hammer. Think about your goals and think about how you can achieve your goals using these instruments. And I would say that is where the killer apps are going to come from. And let me tell you, if you focus on your problems, on your headaches, on your obsessions, you will probably solve them. But let me tell you a secret. You're not the only one with those headaches. So your solutions are going to be solutions for the world. But you're going to get to those solutions for the world by understanding the specific problems you want to solve.
This is something that came in yesterday's panel as well, that instead of trying to look for solutions that might be available, let states, let companies and let countries define what their problems are, and then go to companies for trying to figure out whether the companies can help them create the solutions for those problems or no. And by the way, let's keep this a bit free-flowing. So if anybody wants to come in at any point of time, just please come in, including Minister Lokesh as well. But Professor Lee, can I come to you on this? Because you seem to be wanting to make a statement.
Yeah, I agree with Ricardo's comments, because typically when we say AI, right, I made comments earlier at lunch, right, we call ABC. 3 algorithms, big data, and computing. That's called 3 elements. But that's horizontal. Vertical called domain, healthcare domain, energy domain, right? Semiconductor domain, etc., etc. So if you focus on one domain as a purpose, then you look for the problem source. Then you develop AI process. I call 3P. Purpose, problem, process. Then you hit the goal. So to me, if you take a healthcare domain, which I made a comment earlier, right? Healthcare, FDA took 18 years to approve about 40 or 50, 60 drugs a year. 18 years. 7 years is a clinical trial. 11 years is do all kinds of testing and development. If you shrink the 11 years down to 2 years, how many lives are going to save? Lots of lives. Every country needs it. Every country. Entire world needs it, right? This is collaborative work. So you look at the positive, the area for that. Of course, you got to find what's the problem source first. So I do agree. I think we need to look at kind of a killer M as a collaborative winning.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Shilpa, you want to weigh in on this, because I think there is a lot of question around what state, and the key point about today's conversation was, can we shape the future of next gen AI, right? I mean, innovative hub, data factory, etc., and AI university that Minister Lokesh referred to. How does a state collaborate with different stakeholders in this whole AI ecosystem to do the best of all of these things?
Yeah, thank you for that. So, what Honorable Minister Nara Lokesh ji mentioned, the government backing up these missions or having these initiatives around leading with AI, from a state like Andhra Pradesh, but not just for Andhra, but something that applies for the whole world. As Professor Ricardo mentioned, there are problems which are prevalent, not just to a certain state or a country. There are some problems which are like healthcare, for example, or education, which have a pretty, its applicabilities across large segments of the world. And in that sense, I truly believe that democratization of AI is important. And everybody, what that means is everybody should be able to take advantage of AI as a tool. Not everybody is going to be a machine learning engineer or a data scientist, but using AI as a tool and having the access to build solutions for their specific problems is the key. And that's possible through democratization of AI, through making education and training and upskilling available. And hence, I think government and states can play a really important role in supporting these initiatives that democratize AI education, with a strong focus on strengthening STEM education at all the levels, with a particular emphasis on AI and data science.
Okay, well, I was going to ask Professor Susskind about this as well, but Professor Kreese has said that she just wanted to make a comment on this, yes. So please go ahead.
Thank you, and thank you to the Minister for such a kind invitation. I just wanted to add my thoughts on this. I'm a computer scientist by training who became a cybersecurity expert, and I'm fairly certain you'll find lots of uses for AI. As I look around the room, I'm looking at energy, urban centres. We've been using machine learning for years. We know it can help us spot patterns in data that are really hard for humans to spot. We have huge data sets through the instrumentization of our environments. So if you're building smart cities or you're trying to manage manufacturing environments, process control, whatever it may be, there's definitely going to be opportunities. So I'll park that. I think that's for certain. I just wanted to come in on the educational piece and to urge you to think about a principled way of building the workforce of the future. And it's one that I benefited from as a computer scientist, and it's this. Teach our workforce transferable technology skills. So when I was taught computer science, I didn't attend a class to learn a coding language. I attended classes to learn how to write good code that works as it should do, efficient code. And then I was taught how to learn any language, whichever language was the one that everybody wanted to use. And I think that principled approach should apply in AI. What we need is people that know how to collect data, store data, label data, manage the integrity of data that's going to be inside the training. We need to teach people how to write the inference engines, no matter what platform they're writing it on. Think about what it means to learn, to help a model learn. And then we need to teach people how you write good models for understanding the environment and the importance of the interface. We may find that in the state in the future, that when we go and look at how you're managing the green energy emission, that we'll go in and we'll see folks in immersive technology and they're interacting with visual interfaces. But underneath that, same model, same inference engine, same data that might actually sit underneath another interface. And so I think there's such a huge opportunity, and it's a moment for us to make sure we don't get buried in the silos, that we take a principled approach, because then we can do the 3 Ps no matter which of the verticals we're in.
Yeah, and Minister Lokesh, I would like to come in on this, but after a comment from Professor Susskind, because he looks at this argument closely, if I'm not wrong, and I would love to understand from you, because something that I was talking to Professor Creed about, that the pace of development in this field is so rapid. What is it that, let's say, for example, an AI university that the state is thinking of can have as a necessary set of skill imparting that can help the students not just navigate through the AI challenges of today, sure, but over the course of the next few years, maybe?
Sure. So I think when we think about skills in education, there are sort of 3 dimensions to this. The first is the what. What skills and what capabilities are we providing people with? And that, I think, is the one that gets most of the oxygen among politicians and policymakers, trying to anticipate what jobs will be valuable in the future, and so what skills do we need to teach people today. But I think there are 2 other really important dimensions to education, which sometimes get neglected. So alongside the what, there's also the how. You know, if you were to step into a time machine and go back 100 years and walk into a classroom or a lecture theatre, it would look remarkably similar to how they look today, despite the existence of many